When you're asked how a computer works, it's often described as being a bunch of ones and zeros, and you'll see pictures on the internet like this of ones and zeros coming out of the monitor. What does that really mean, and how do they really work? Computers don't really only have access to one resource, electricity. A computer uses this one resource in many different ways to represent numbers and letters and symbols, and then later pictures and sound. We're going to examine from the lowest level how a computer represents electricity as numbers and pictures and sound and all those things that a computer does. But first, we're going to start with numbers. Let's consider what you can do with one wire. You can either turn it off or you can turn it on. Well, that's two different things you can represent, two different numbers. But if you double the number of wires to 2 wires, you can now represent 4 different states. They can both be off, one or the other can be on, or they can both be on. So by adding one wire, you double the amount of numbers that you can represent with these 2 wires. Moving on with 3 wires, you double it again. Now you can represent 8 different states or 8 different numbers with these 3 wires. Let's look at a way that you can represent 8 different numbers with these wires. First, I'm going to list out all the combinations. You'll notice, if you look carefully, that each of these combinations are unique. So there are 8 different ways that you can flip these switches on and off. Let's consider that a switch turned off is like a 0, meaning it's not on. If you have 3 zeros, that number is a 0. Let's consider a switch being turned on as a 1. If you have a number like 001, that's still just a 1. Let's consider the next state where the middle one is turned on. We'll call this number 2. The next one has 0, 1, and 1. We'll call that one 3. And then the next one 4, 5, 6, and 7. You'll see here that we have represented 8 different numbers, 0 through 7, with switches in different combinations.